There's something about your face, can't stop looking your way. What do you do to me? You make it hard to breathe. Ooh. I'm tired of the people that talk about nothing, and I'm not wasting this moment. Even though I know that letting you go would be crazy. Thinking no.
How I got started in social media and makeup is that about 2 years ago, I started doing creative makeup, and I didn't really get anywhere with it. I was just doing it kind of for fun. I had a page that had maybe like 100 followers. And then I kind of gave up on doing it on social media for a while, and I just did it for fun. And then when TikTok came around, I started recording videos again, just for fun. And then one morning I was doing a video and the sunlight was hitting me, and I kind of incorporated that into my video, and that video blew up. And so each day I started waiting for the sun to come through my window and to film a video with like the sunlight, and pretty quickly I gained an audience with that, and I was still just doing it for fun. And then in a short 5 to 6 months I had 700,000 followers. So it jumped very quickly, and I've just been doing it since then, and it's been really fun. So every morning when the sunlight comes out, it motivates me to get up and get out of bed to do something, and it starts my day every day. And then I post it and I leave it alone for a little while, and then I can go back, and people give me a lot of support, and it just makes my day better each day, no matter if 5 people comment or if that video blows up and 1,000 people comment. It's just something that is so great to start off my day. So my favorite thing I own is actually these custom-made chopsticks from Japan. My boyfriend sent them to me. He lives in Japan, and they have my full name on them, and they're really pretty, and they mean a lot to me because it was the first thing he ever sent me. I'll show here. But yeah, these are definitely my favorite thing I own.
Oh, didn't see you there. Guess you're enjoying Bespoke TV. Well, stay tuned because there's more to come.
So the year I think was 2012, or maybe it was 2010, where I really first discovered the world of Tumblr bloggers, and then after that I started to slowly uncover different sites over time. I remember looking at Brian Boy's blog, Rumi Neely, Jane Aldridge, and really watching these people just create like their own digital worlds, which I thought was so fascinating. So I would wake up every day and go type in their blog URLs, check their websites, and hope that they had a new post up, because I was always so excited to read them, and I just thought they were so interesting and unique. And I had a Tumblr as well, and I thought that it was maybe fun to start uploading some of my own photos in addition to kind of reblogging other people's photos. And then it finally got to the point where I thought maybe I should take this even more to the next level and not just have it live on Tumblr, but really have it be its own website. So in 2012, I started, I went and opened up a Blogger free account, and I created my website, Keep Calm and Chiffon, really as an experiment to just document my summer outfits and see, you know, if I could kind of try my hand and go through the process of what some of these fashion bloggers were going through. And never did I think that 8 years later I'd still be uploading to my blog once a week. So I blog now about fashion and beauty, and also the fashion and beauty industries. And I am also really big on helping creators start their own fashion and beauty, brands, websites, blogs, YouTube channels, all of that, to make a living getting paid to create content. But it definitely all goes back to, just being inspired by some of the OG bloggers and wanting to see if I could try doing it on my own. I think for me, when I first started my content, it was very much just, outfit photos, and sometimes there would be captions to accommodate them, and it was very much like a personal thing. It was almost like therapeutic for me. It was a journal in a sense online. And I think everything really changed for me when I started writing more service-oriented blog posts and really thinking about, but every time I hit publish, asking myself, can this help someone? Is this valuable? Does this, save someone a trip to the mall if it's a roundup of the best sweaters to buy? Or can this inspire someone to apply for an internship at a fashion magazine if that's what they're interested in doing? And I can kind of share my own experience. So I think now what drives me going forward is really helping other fashion and beauty creators create great content and thrive in this industry. I think if 2020 has shown us anything, it's that influencer marketing isn't going anywhere, and in fact it's become more crucial than ever because these creators have proven that they can really be one-person content studio production machines all from their bedrooms, and I think that there's so much to be said for that. So what drives me is, if I create a great fashion post or create a great beauty post, I feel like I can inspire others to do something similar and try their hand at, creating content and getting paid for it. And I think that at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to for me. I think as a content creator, one of my favorite things I own is my camera, and the story behind acquiring it, I guess, is kind of funny because I ended up getting laid off from my job at a print magazine in 2017, and in that time I had a little bit of a break between that role and my next full-time role, and I had always wanted to start a YouTube channel and had never felt like I had the production quality to do it. I feel pretty comfortable on camera, and I grew up doing a lot of acting, so I felt okay about that, but it was always wondering, is this going to be blurry? Is this going to be not high quality? Is my editing going to be terrible? And I feel like getting that new camera and really taking that step to kind of level up my content creation is something that I, felt really compelled to just take that next jump and do it. And ever since then, I ended up creating, I think, 2 YouTube videos a week for the year of 2018, and that really pushed me into the next world that I ended up creating a lot of content in, which is video creation. And I think that I probably would not have been, as compelled to kind of start creating YouTube content, which ultimately led to more video content on Instagram, joining TikTok, and even my current full-time role at Jump Rope, which is an app for creating and sharing videos. And I just, I really credit taking that small moment to invest in yourself and say, this is something I really want to try out and commit to, and taking it to the next level. So I would definitely say that my camera is probably my favorite thing I own, and I had a Canon G7X, which is great for vlogging and content creation. Actually just got a new camera about 3 years later now, a Sony one that I hear is also great for video, so excited to try that out.
So growing up, I always loved fashion. I always insisted on dressing myself from a very young age. I just was always fascinated by colors and designs and putting together outfits. So I originally thought I wanted to be an artist, and then that transformed into wanting to be a fashion designer. So always in a creative field of sorts. And then when I went to college, I went in for fashion design, but quickly realized I didn't love sewing as much as I had hoped that I would. And so from there, thankfully I went to a small liberal arts school, so I was easily able to broaden up my major from just fashion design to fashion design and merchandising. So then from there, I was able to take some more business courses, some more writing courses to kind of like get a taste of different things. And then it was really when I started doing summer internships in New York City that I was able to really learn more about the ins and outs of the industry and to kind of find more so what I wanted to do. So my first internship was with a fashion designer, Anna Sui, in the garment district. I worked in her production department and I loved it. But then after that, I was like, I kind of want to try out interning at a fashion magazine to see what that's like. And then I'll get to, work with a lot of different brands instead of just one brand. So the next summer after that, I got an internship at Marie Claire magazine, and that's kind of how I found my love in fashion editorial. So when I graduated college, I worked at Teen Vogue and I worked at In Style, and that's kind of how I got my entrance into the industry. I, thought I wanted to be the next Anna Wintour magazine editor, and though I did love it, the time I was entering the industry was a very, very pivotal time when social media and Instagram was just really beginning to take off. Everyone, was saying go digital. Print magazines are going to be folding. They're not going to be, what they were 10 years ago and things like that. So, I always just kept that in mind and things like that. And I enjoyed social media and just sharing my life. I'm a Leo, so I feel like my energy is just to let people in, to share my story and things like that. So I was always sharing, even while I was at Teen Vogue and In Style, I was posting on Instagram and things like that, and I was just posting like what I wore to work today, outfits and things like that. And then while I was at In Style, I kind of just wanted some sort of side project or side passion, and that's when I started writing my book, Making It in Manhattan. And it's a beginner's guide for those who want to make it and work in the fashion industry. So that's when I started writing that, and my literary agent, funny enough, was the one who suggested, well, why don't you start a website also called Making It in Manhattan, so that when the time the book does come out, you've already been like writing about career advice on a website and things like that. So that's kind of how like my website got launched. And yeah, then I was just sharing articles from the website on my Instagram. And career advice is like a very searched term, like how to land an internship in New York City and things like that. So the website was taking off pretty quickly right away. And yeah, eventually I just kind of felt I'd rather do this full time. I'd rather focus on my own brand full time. My thought was just I'd rather be putting all of my time and effort into my own brand than into someone else's brand. And so eventually I decided to leave it all behind. I went out on my own and became my own boss. I originally was still like freelance writing a lot when I at first went on my own, because I was still kind of like new to the influencer world and things like that, and didn't really consider myself a blogger and influencer. But then as time went on, I started landing like jobs, influencer projects here and there. And once, I landed, the first few things really took off, and the rest is kind of history. So for me, what drives me each day, things have definitely changed this year because of COVID. I would say pre-COVID, what drove me was like the city and being out and about and going to events and just seeing the people walking on the streets of the city, or like traveling, going to Paris or going to Milan or something like that, and seeing everyone there and seeing the outfits there and the street style there and things like that is what really used to drive me. And now I feel like with COVID, what really, really drives me now and helps me stay motivated is my community. So that is now at this point like who I really am creating to it's helping me stay accountable while creating. At the end of the day, when we first started quarantine in like March and April, May, when it was super like that was the height of it all and we were like stuck indoors fully, I noticed like some people were just like not posting at all, not creating, didn't really know like what to do, and I just really like was like, I'm gonna run with this. So I started like shooting at home nonstop. I started using this hashtag creating at home and just really tried to make it part of my brand. And why I did it was literally just for my community. I would get messages every day, I'm home and, depressed or, really want to go outside, but looking at your colorful posts every day just make me so much happier. And to just get even one message like that makes things worth it and makes you feel like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason, I'm helping somebody. So yeah, at this point, I feel like now in the COVID world we live in, my community is really, really what inspires me and keeps me going. That's a very, very difficult question because that's like picking a favorite child. Not that I have children, I have cats. So that's like picking a favorite cat. I have 2 cats. If I had to pick a favorite item, it would probably just be an item that I had wanted for a really, really long time and then ended up getting it. And then has kind of become a part of my brand is my blue Manolo Blahnik Carrie Bradshaw shoes, the Manolo Blahnik Hungisi shoes. I just wanted those shoes forever. I grew up watching Sex and the City and I loved Sex and the City so much. I'm sure everyone does. And I wanted those shoes so badly. And obviously I was just like a college kid, could not afford Manolos or anything. And then funny enough, I ended up meeting my now fiance, who at the time was my boyfriend, and he knew how much I loved Sex and the City, and him and I would joke because like my name's Caroline and all of my family calls me Carrie. Funny enough, like even before Sex and the City, if you're close to me, you probably call me Carrie or Car. And so he used to joke and be like, I'm Mr. Big, ha ha ha. And so for my first birthday we spent together, like I had no idea he was doing it. He bought me the blue Manolos as my birthday gift. So they're just a very special piece. I love them so much and they're obviously so beautiful. And now I wear them all the time for photo shoots. They've become like a staple on my Instagram. If you follow me, you've definitely seen those shoes. And they're just a piece that I will have forever. And I think that's the beauty of fashion. Everything tells a story or sparks an emotion. And so when I look at those shoes, I like have so many good memories with them.
So I got started in filmmaking in high school actually. I went to a very STEM-focused high school, so I was really good at sciences and math. And there was one elective that I took in 9th grade, I think, and that was my film elective. So that was my first time getting exposed to like filmmaking. So that's where I learned about storytelling, like 3-act structure, working with the camera, going out to the field to shoot, and like dealing with sound and everything, and just like sitting in the editing room for hours at a time. Because I had like a science and math background, I felt more challenged by kind of like artistic pursuits. I didn't really have experience in like creative stuff, other than like maybe fine art. So I felt challenged by the class, and at the same time I realized that there were all these stories I wanted to tell. There were so many opportunities and so many just things we could share in filmmaking. I remember my film teacher always gave us the what if question. So like, what if this happened? And we try to make a film about it in whatever story we could come up with. And just with like the question of what if, there's so many possibilities. So from that class, I started taking film every year until I graduated. And then I became like video club captain in my high school, and we submitted to film festivals. And in high school was when, I think 12th grade was when I got like my first like festival award. It was like a student film festival. And I was like, wow, we could like do so many things with film. And then that's when I decided to kind of pursue film as a career and for university. I realized I have the privilege to go to university, to have gone to a university where I studied what I'm passionate about, and to pursue a career where I decide what stories I want to tell and what stories I want to share to the world. And as we grow up and we realize more and more things about the world. Like we get exposure to like all the problems in the world and all the injustices, prejudices, stereotypes, and all that stuff that we didn't realize when we were younger. That's kind of like when I realized that there were so many unheard voices in the world and so many unique stories. I believe that everyone has a unique story. Sorry. I believe that everyone has a unique story and like things to share and everyone can learn from. I always felt very mediocre in life. Like in high school, university, I was never like the best at anything or like the worst at anything. I was just like in the middle. But I still believe that in like mediocrity, there are still stories that everyone has that are unique to themselves. So at the same time, I feel like although we're all different, we're all similar in a way, like we're all human. So with filmmaking, I really want to share all these mediocre stories and like share the uniqueness of everyone, and to share that like despite our differences, we can still find commonality with each other. Like we have shared human emotions, humanity, and I want to use filmmaking as a way to connect people and be more understanding of each other. So, really random thing that I own is this very shiny microphone. You can connect Bluetooth with it, so you can connect it to your phone and you can basically have a karaoke session by yourself at home. And it like amplifies your voice, and there's like a remix button where you can just like remix your voice with the music somehow, and it's just really fun to have. Although it kind of annoys the neighbors, I feel like sometimes, but like you're at home every day in quarantine, you can't go to like karaoke. So I just have this microphone for like when I feel like singing, or when I'm like with a friend, we just kind of blast some music and sing a little and to have a little fun in this tough time during the pandemic. And it's fun, and it's like really shiny. It has LED lights that light up when you talk, so like the level of like brightness on it depends on how loud your voice is, so it's just really fun to have.